In the latest from Campaign 2020, New Hampshire decided the votes of 24 delegates Tuesday night. California has 20 times that number and will have its turn at the polls on March 3rd, Super Tuesday. With 495 votes on the line, CBSN Bay Area's Wilson Walker spoke with a Democratic political strategist about the complicated math and what it could mean.
Darry Sragow, thank you so much for joining us and trying to unpack what Super Tuesday might look like in California. I know there's a lot of questions to get to, and my rudimentary understanding of this is that the best way to approach how these delegates might sort of spread out is to think of the map of California and its congressional districts. Am I correct there?
That is a good starting point. It's not the only thing to take into account, but yeah, you might as well start there.
All right, and so there's a threshold, though. So in each of those congressional districts, you've got that 15% threshold. So I guess there's sort of that cutoff there. So it's not just a mini contest;
yes.
It's a mini contest with a sort of specific set of rules.
Yeah, well, it's a mini contest with a certain level that you have to reach to get in the game at all. And in each congressional district, you have to get at least 15% of the votes, and then you get a piece of what that congressional district is going to send to the convention. And then at the statewide level, if you have to get 15% of the total statewide vote if you're going to pick up any of the statewide delegates that are going to show up in Milwaukee for the convention. And if you cross the 15% threshold, either in a congressional district or at the statewide level, then the number of delegates you get is proportionate to the total percentage of the vote you got.
So it's very straightforward, obviously.
And each, yeah, it's very easy to follow. I don't know why anybody has a problem here.
To spell it out for people, what we really have is you have congressional district races with the 15% threshold. Then you have the statewide race with a 15% threshold. And then I guess the remainder is what we used to sort of think of as the super delegates, the sort of maligned idea of these powerful delegates. That has been downsized a little bit this year.
Yeah, no, that's 79. That's 79 of what we used to call superdelegates out of that total of 495.
Okay, so let's flash forward a little bit here to the night of Super Tuesday, and the consensus seems to be that the way this math works between the congressional districts and the statewide vote is that it's going to be hard for someone to just run away with this thing. Would you agree with that conventional wisdom?
Yes, people who know me know that I'm pretty cautious. I don't make wild bets. I am willing to bet right here and now that no candidate for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States in 2020 is going to sweep California. It's just not going to happen because our delegates are cut into too many little pieces, the delegate totals. So nobody's going to sweep California.
Now, I have a counter thought here on that. It also seems to me, with the 15% thresholds, that it's also going to be easy for some candidates to maybe underperform in California. And if they just broadly fail to hit those thresholds around the state, or obviously statewide, that you could also have some, you have candidates who maybe not do exceedingly well, but a lot of candidates who might not do well at all.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The counter risk is that you don't cross 15% statewide, that you don't cross 15% in a whole bunch of the 53 congressional districts, and you come out of California with next to nothing. And that's a problem not just in terms of perception, but in terms of math, because again, we've got 495 delegates in play here out of the 1,990 you need to win the nomination. It's a big chunk.
Yeah, so we got this.
So yeah, underperforming is a problem.
Yeah, and it also seems to me that the way this is arranged is also why we see Michael Bloomberg in Fresno.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've run a lot of political campaigns in California. I've run campaigns for governor, for U.S. Senate. I was the strategist for the California Assembly Democrats. And so I look at all this and I say, having done all the things I've done in politics, if some candidate came to me and said, I'm going to pay you big bucks, that'd probably be Mike Bloomberg, but I'm going to pay you big bucks to figure out how to really maximize my vote in California, I would just look at them and say, can't help you. I mean, I just don't know.
Darry Sragow, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time and unpacking this for us.
Sure.
And, we're going to learn a lot more between now and March 3rd.
Yes, we will.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
CBSN Bay Area is your guide to Campaign 2020. We're covering all of the candidates, races, and issues that matter to you. To learn more about what's on the ballot, check out our Super Tuesday guide at kpix.com/campaign2020.